जय गिरिवर दारी जय यशोदानंद ना जय व्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंद ना जय व्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय व्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय व्रजजन रंजना जय यमुना तिरवनचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय यमुना चिरवनचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय यमुना चिरवनचारी जय कुंज विहारी जय यमुना चिरवनचारी जय कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय राधा माधव की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुरमई की जय नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय पंच तत्व की जय षड गोस्वामी की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय शिल गुरुदेव की जय टैगोर प्रेम हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके bhaktir neishtiki. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, Hare Krishna with Mother is welcome all of you for this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, today the verse which has been given to me for discussion is fourth canto, 22nd chapter, and verse number 25. हरेर्मुहुस्तत् परकर्णपूर गुणाभिधानेन विजृम्भमानया भक्त्या ह्यसङ्ग सदसत्यनात्मनि स्यान्निर्गुणे ब्रह्मणि चाञ्च सारथिः. हरेर्मुहुस्तत्परकर्णपूर गुणाभिधानेन विजृम्भमानया भक्त्या ह्यसङ्घ सदसत्यनात्मनि स्यान्निर्गुणे ब्रह्मणि चाञ्जसारथिः हरेर्मुहुस्तत्परकर्णपूर गुणाभिधानेन विजृम्भमाणया भक्त्या ह्यसङ्घ सदसत्यनात्मनि स्यान्निर्गुणे ब्रह्मणि च जसारथिः. Anyone, Prabhu and Mataji can recite. Let's go.
Hare Krishna, may I?
Yes, yes, Lord, please.
हरेर्मुहुस्तत्परकर्णपूर गुणाभिधानेन विजृम्भमाणया भक्त्या ह्यसङ्ग सदसत्यनात्मनि स्यान्निर्गुणे ब्रह्मणि साञ्जसारथिः.
Jai, very nice. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Any one more? Prabhu or Mataji can recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
हरेर्मुहुस्तत्परकर्णपूरा गुणाभिधानेन विजृम्भमानया भक्त्या ह्यसङ्गसदसत्यनात्मनि स्यान्निर्गुणे ब्रह्मणि चाञ्जसारथिः. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you. Hare Krishna. Word to word meaning synonymous. Harehe, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Muhuhu, constantly. Tatpara, in relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karnapura, decoration of the ear. Guna Abhidhanena, discussing transcendental qualities. Vijambra, Vijrumbha Manaya, by increasing Krishna consciousness. Bhaktya, by devotion. He, certainly. Asangaha, uncontaminated. Sadasati, material world. Anatmani, opposed to spiritual understanding. Syat, should be. Nirgune, in transcendence. Brahmani, in the Supreme Lord. Cha, and. Anjasa, easily. Ratihi, attraction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please hear the translation and purport. The devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These pastimes are like ornamental decorations on the ears of the devotees. By rendering devotional service and transcending the middle qualities, one can easily be fixed in transcendence in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. This verse is especially mentioned to substantiate the devotional process of hearing the subject matter. A devotee does not like to hear anything other than subjects dealing with spiritual activities or the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can increase our propensity for devotional service by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from realized souls. The more we hear from realized souls, the more we make advancement in our devotional life. The more we advance in devotional life, the more we become detached from the material world. The more we become detached from the material world, as advised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the more we increase in attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a devotee who actually wants to make progress in devotional service and go back home back to Godhead must lose interest in sense enjoyment and associating with persons who are after money and sense gratification. This is the advice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nishkinchanasya bhagavat bhajanonmukhasya param param jagamisho bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam atayoshitam cha ahanta hanta vishabho sajanatopya sadhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 11.8. The word Brahmani used in this verse is commented upon by the impersonalists or professional reciters of Bhagavatam, who are mainly advocates of the caste system by demoniac birthright. They say that Brahmani means the impersonal Brahman, but they cannot conclude this with reference to the context of the words Bhaktya and Gunabhidhanena. According to the impersonalists, there are no transcendental qualities in the impersonal Brahman. Therefore, we should understand That Brahmani means in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as admitted by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, wherever the word Brahma, not Brahma, it's Brahma, is used, it must refer to Krishna, not to the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. Bhagavatam 1 to 11. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan can all be taken in total as Brahman. But when there is reference to the word bhakti or remembrance of the transcendental qualities, this indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the impersonal Brahman. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyan Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swabhadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Vishakhatam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripasindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuktam Sanjeevayatya Kila Shakti Dharasvadhamna Anyam Cha Hasta Charana Shravanatvagadin Rana Namo Bhagavate Vrushai Tubhyam Mukam Paroti Vacharam Pangam Langeti Girim Yat Kripadamaham Mande Pramanandamaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishta Bhutali Shrimati Mahavishnu Swami Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishta Bhutali in the Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nirvishishwaniya Vacha Dhisthana Jashi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Guru Hare Krishna Hare. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji's Mataji's. Welcome all of you and thank you very much for keeping your appointment with Krishna today, 25th of February 2026. So we'll be discussing from 4th canto, 22nd chapter, verse number 25. Shranvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatash Cha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously. Please listen to this point. This is 284 Bhagavatam. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, so you're all hearing every day, right? So persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, and second important point is, and are always taking the matter very seriously. What will happen? If you do these two things, if you are regularly hearing and always taking it very seriously, by these two things, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, will be manifested in their hearts within a short time. It doesn't take long also. Nati dirghena, within a short time. So very, very important. So regular. That's why, right? So this verse which we are discussing, that is 4 to 25 today, is especially mentioned to substantiate the devotional process of hearing the subject matter. Hearing, Shravana. See, a devotee does not like to hear anything other than the subject matters which deal with spiritual activities or pastimes of Krishna. See, Vedic scriptures, it always insists on the importance of Shravanam, hearing. Hearing what? Not anything and everything. hearing the glories of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. See, when we meet someone, no, we greet them, okay, and then we like to talk with them. But what should be the topic of hearing and discussion? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10.9, one of the seed verses, as to what his devotees do when they meet each other. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyante cha ramanti cha. He says, no, the thoughts of my devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service. And they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, no, the symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse, specifically 10.9. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna. And they take great pleasure in discussing Him with other devotees. See, when we meet other devotees, we should not end up in wasting their time. If you want to waste, you waste yours. Don't waste others' time by blaspheming other devotees or any other living entity. So that should not be the goal of our lives, right? Instead, we should use valuable time and energy in hearing and discussing the glories of Krishna. And this glorification should be not once a week or once a month, Nityam, right? Always. It is not that we speak about Krishna for some time and then later glide down to all the mundane topics. In Bhagavatam 4:29, 39, and 40, 4:29, 39, Narada Muni says to King Prachinibarhi, my dear king, in the place where pure devotees live, in the place where pure devotees live, following the rules and regulations, and thus purely conscious and engaged with great eagerness in hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in that place, if one gets a chance to hear their constant flow of nectar, which is exactly like the waves of a river, one will forget the necessities of life. One will forget the necessities of life. What are the necessities of life? Not TV, fridge, building, bungalow. No. That is namely hunger and thirst. So one will, by doing this, by hearing Katha, one will forget the necessities of life, namely even hunger and thirst. And they become immune to all kinds of fear, lamentation, and illusion. Very beautiful verse 4:29, 39, and 40, when Arjuna is telling. See, when we are eager to hear, Shravana Vyakra Chetasa, with attentive ears. When you are eager to hear, with attentive ears, Gada Karanais, that is, then we are free from all anxieties. Kunta. Kunta means anxiety. Vaikunta, no anxiety. And the whole atmosphere becomes Vaikunta. So when we are eager to hear, that is Shravana Vyakra Chetasa, with attentive ears, Gada Karanai, then we are free from all anxieties. Kunta. And the whole atmosphere becomes Vaikunta. Now, Saritaha means river. And in this verse, Narada Muni is very nicely comparing the constant flow of nectarian harikatha from the mouth of a pure devotees to that of waves of river. See, when we are extremely tired and exhausted, we might have realized, right? The touch of the waves of water, it refreshes us and it enlivens us. Similarly, this Sarita of Harikatha, river of Harikatha from the lotus mouth of pure devotees, it will refresh our body and mind. Usually, body is constantly troubled by what? Hunger and thirst. And our minds are troubled by what? Fear, lamentation, and illusion. But when we are in touch with Krishna Katha, we become immune to all the physical and mental problems. See, this 1 hour which we are hearing, we don't have this hunger and thirst now. And even the fear, lamentation, or illusion, nothing is there. See, in this regard, there's a very nice story about a devotee called Punyadhama. Punyadama, he lived in a village which was very near to river Ganges. And in that village, there lived a great Vaishnava saint called Brihadaba. Brihadaba, who was daily glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna. Now, Punyadama, he never missed a single discourse. Nityam, he was Nityam Bhagavata Seva. He was always ready to hear. So, hearing Krishna Katha and distributing prasadam to others, it was his primary seva. Although he was residing in that village for many years, okay, he neither took darshan nor did he take bath in the river Ganges, which was nearby, but he did never. So, see, once what happened? Two pilgrims, no, they came to this village from another distant province, and they approached him to check if he could provide them accommodation for one night. Now, Punyadama was very happy to receive them, and he welcomed them to his hut. So, after giving them a very warm reception, Punyadama offered the prasadam. Now, before honoring the prasadam, those two pilgrims, they inquired from him, as to how far is the Ganges from his house? And Punyadama replied, I have heard that Ganges is about 4 miles away from my home, but I have never been there so far, although I am born in this village. The moment the pilgrims heard this response from Punyadama, they became very upset. But they did not know his greatness, right? So they did not know. So what they began to blaspheme him by saying, "Oh, it's a great misfortune that we have come to this house where the host does not even know the glory of Ganges. We have been traveling thousands of miles from our hometown just to have darshan and holy dip in Ganges river. But even after staying so near to Ganges, this person has wasted his whole life. It's a great sin to even stay in this house or eat the food offered by such a great sinner." This was what they blasphemed him. So having said this, the pilgrims they left. They did not stay there. In fact, Punyadama was requesting them, please, please stay back, but they did not. So later, when they reached the banks of Ganges, they were surprised to find the riverbed was completely dry. Now, since they were determined to somehow or the other take a holy dip, they decided to walk along the banks and proceed to the source, that is Gangotri. But to their surprise, there was no water there also. So feeling very disturbed, they cried, "Oh Mother Ganga, please be merciful upon us." The Mother Ganga appeared before them and said, "Because you insulted the great Vaishnava Punyadama, who is daily engaging in hearing Harikatha, you are not eligible to take a dip in my waters. I always eagerly wait for the dust." See, what Mother Ganga is telling is, I always eagerly wait for the dust of the lotus feet of devotees like Punyadama, as that is the only way by which I am getting sanctified. See, Ganga is telling. In fact, when Bhagirath requested Mother Ganga to come down from the spiritual world to the material world, one of the Mother Ganga's concern was that how could she maintain her purity? Because if all the sinful conditioned souls keep taking bath in their waters, right, they come to get purified, right? So in response to that, Bhagirath assured in Bhagavatam 996, he said, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior, and are always and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. For such devotees always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can vanquish all sinful reactions. It's a beautiful verse, 996 power. So after hearing this, the chastisement from Mother Ganga, the two pilgrims, they realized the greatness of Punyadama. So they decided to go back to him and seek forgiveness from him. Punyadama, without any tinge of pride, he welcomed them back to his house. He not only forgave them, but he also took all of them to the saint Brihadaba to hear Harikatha. So the pilgrims stayed there and heard for 2 years Harikatha and relished the nectar of Harikatha. When they heard the pastimes of the Lord, they could understand and appreciate the potency of Harikatha as well as the association of pure devotees. So later, all of them went to river Ganges and were very happy to have a holy dip, and they returned back to their respective destinations. See, Srimad Bhagavatam 1:15, sages of Naimisharanya also very nicely glorify the potency of sadhu sangha. Yatpada samsharya suta munaya prashamayanaha sadhya punantya pashprishtaha swardunya anusevaya. O Suta, that's Suta Goswami, O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them. Whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. So Prabhupada very nicely says in the purport of Bhagavatam 1:13:10, the holy places all over the earth are meant for purifying the polluted consciousness of the human being by an atmosphere surcharged with the presence of the Lord's unalloyed devotees. And Prabhupada says, if anyone visits a holy place, he must search out the pure devotees residing in such holy places. Take lessons from them and try to apply such instructions in practical life, and thus gradually prepare oneself for the ultimate salvation, going back to Godhead. See, to go to some holy place of pilgrimage does not mean only to take a bath in the Ganges or Yamuna or to visit temples situated in those places. One should also find representatives of Vidura, pure devotees, who have no other desire, right, except to serve the Supreme Personality of God. So, at all times and places, hearing Krishna Katha from the lotus mouth of pure devotees is a prime necessity for all of us. So that's why in this purport 4:22-25, that verse which I discussed today, Prabhupada very nicely brings out the glories of hearing Krishna Katha. He says, a devotee does not like to hear anything other than the subjects dealing with spiritual activities or the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can increase our propensity for devotional service. Prabhupada gives a solution, right? We can increase our propensity for devotional service by how? By hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from realized souls. That is more important. From authority, parampara, from realized souls. Then we can increase our propensity for devotional service. And he gives very nice, the step-by-step logical steps. He says, the more we hear from realized souls, what will happen? The more we make advancement in our devotional life. So the more we hear, more advancement. And more we advance in devotional life, more we become detached from the material world. And the more we become detached from the material world, as advised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the more we increase our attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Two beautiful steps. More we hear, more advancement. More advancement, more detachment from material world. And more detachment from material world, an increase in attachment to Supreme God. So, as it is described by the Acharyas, scriptures, and Supreme Lord himself, this material world is an abode of miseries. So all the mundane sounds, here, they will only torment us and add to our miseries. So it is better to take shelter of the transcendental sounds in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and increase our attachment to Supreme Lord Krishna and His abode. That's why Bhagavatam 1-18, we always recite before Bhagavatam. Nashta prayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. What does it say? By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam. This regular is very important. And by rendering of service to the pure devotees. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And what happens? A loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs. Loving service is established as an irrevocable fact. It cannot be removed. So these pastimes of Krishna are like, Prabhupada says, like ornamental decorations on the ears of devotees. See, decorating ears Years, this years, right? With various kinds of like studs, earrings. It's a long-standing practice in human society from even right from Vedic times for both men and women. See, even in the tribals, in the forest, deep forest also, they decorate their ears with various studs. See, one of the devotees is called Vishnu Chitta. Vishnu Chitta, also known as Periyalvar. He glorified the Lord. In the poem, he sings that a devotee should consider his or her earring or studs and necklace as Lord's blessings. The Acharyas explain why the Alvar is saying only necklace and earrings and not any other jewels like bangles, bracelets, or armlets. The reason is that if we wear a bracelet and bangle, then we can also see it and enjoy its uh, grandeur, right? But when we wear necklace and studs, we cannot see it directly unless we see in the mirror. So these are the two ornaments which only others can see. So we wear this so that necklace, ears, earring, studs, so that the others can see the beauty, right? And adore us or even envy us. That's it. So that is the reason in case of diamond studs, bigger and lustrous is the stone, right? Higher is the price of that stud, so that others are attracted to us and look at us. But Bhagavatam recommends a great decoration for the ears, which is available to everyone, irrespective of the financial status, and will not cause any suffering, but gives eternal bliss. That is, and this decoration is prescribed by none other than the four Kumaras, the great devotees in this 42225. So, diamond or gold studs, platinum earrings, they're affordable only by people who can pay for it, right? And also, diamond studs sometimes causes suffering to the people, correct? Due to some astrological reasons. Also, after death, the relatives ensure that the gold, the diamond studs, the platinum rings, they're removed, right? Sometimes there's a big fight among the relatives, sons and daughters, who should take them. But the Lord's glories are available to everyone for free. And they cannot be taken away by death also. And they destroy all sufferings, as explained by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. We can increase our propensity for devotional service by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam from realized souls. So again, this beautiful point, no? The more we hear, more we make advancement. The more we become advanced, the more we become detached from material world. The more we become detached, the more we increase our attachment to Krishna. So, what are the best earrings for our ears? So, what could be the best earrings for decorating our ears and which will have a lasting value? That is what in 42225 we have heard. So, if he wants to possess earrings of this middle world, see, one may have to undertake a lot of troubles, right? To buy diamond, to secure them. And there is fear of losing them also. Correct? That's why you keep it in the bank. You buy it, but you keep it in the bank. There is no trouble in the case of decorating our ears with earrings of Lord's glories. One who has sincere desire is helped by Krishna and his pure devotees and can derive ultimate benefit by hearing. In Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Antilila 14.44, it says, the ring of Krishna's Rasalila, the ring of Krishna's Rasalila, manufactured by Shukadeva Goswami, the most auspicious craftsman, is as pure as an earring made from a conch shell. The yogi of the mind, yogi of my mind, is wearing that earring upon his ear. From a gourd, he has carved out the bowl of my aspirations, and he has taken the bag of my expectations on his shoulder. See, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, devotees all over the world are able to decorate their ears with the earring of Harikatha. And especially we can see in the Damodara month, right? We all meditate on the glories of Lord Damodara's dazzling earrings, Lasat Kundalam, by singing Damodarashtakam and get attraction for pure devotional service. See, in this purport of the current verse, 4:20 to 25, Prabhupada says a devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service. Devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service. How can we increase? By constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of Supreme Personality of God. In fact, there are 64 qualities of Krishna. If you go to Nectar of Devotion, chapter 21, it gives the 64 qualities of Krishna. Please go and can read about it, take those qualities. Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of 185 Bhagavatam, states that in those glorious days, before the advent of Kali, the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men, they were properly given protection. Now, failure to do so, it diminishes one's life. And Prabhupada further, he elaborates why such protection is necessary. Number one, the protection of the Brahmanas maintains the institution of Varna and Ashrama. The most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual life. This is the first one, protection of the Brahmanas. Second is protection of the cows. It maintains the most miraculous form of food, that is milk, for maintaining the finer tissues of the brain. For what? For understanding higher aims of life. Third, the protection of women. It maintains the chastity of society. See, by which we can get a good generation for peace, tranquility, progress of life. The fourth is the protection of children. This gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. See, such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by the purificative process of Garbhadana Samskar, beginning of pure life. And the fifth one is the protection of old men. It gives them a chance to prepare themselves for better life after death. See, when we take special care of these things, right, of these principles, we can feel very peaceful. And in that peaceful state, the execution of devotional service is not only been possible, but it will also be enlivening. But when we fail to do so, we'll feel ourselves very much disturbed and always in anxiety. And therefore, a devotional service will be a failure. So we have to get these protections, protection of the Brahmana, protection of cows, protection of women, protection of children, and protection of old. Very, very important. These are the culture of devotional service, which you are talking about. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a treasure box with so many valuable jewels inside it, right? Hidden. So to open this treasure box and get the real treasure of bhakti, there is a key. And that key is described by Krishna in 9.34 Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava bhad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshyasi yuktivaivam atmanam mat parayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. See, all our activities are performed in three ways. All our activities are performed in three ways. One, activities of the body, karmana. Right. Two, activities of mind, manasa. And three, activities of speech, vacha. Karmana, manasa, vacha. Activities of body, karmana. Activities of mind, manasa. Activities of speech, vacha. So Krishna speaks about engaging the mind as the first thing. Thinking, feeling, and willing. They are all activities of the mind. And when we will, or when we will, right, to do something, and we wish to do something, the activity comes to be manifest by the gross bodily senses. So we see that everything begins from the subtle level before it manifests grossly. See, what we think is expressed as words. The words are the basis for action. The actions we perform become our habits. The habits build up our character, and our character leads to our destiny. So this sequence reveals the importance of the thought process. What we think is expressed as words. Words are the basis of action, right? Actions we perform become our habits. Habits build our character, and character leads to destiny. See, we work not with our body actually, but with our mind. So, in our mental activities, we should always try to think of Krishna and try to plan how to please Krishna, following the footsteps of all the previous acharyas and the Guru, personal spiritual master. So, Srila Prabhupada, in his purport to text 8 of Nectar of Instruction, he says, since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, one has to train the mind to become his friend. The Krishna conscious movement is especially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. See, we have become so rebellious and independent that we do not understand the gravity of the situation and the dangerous position to which the mind can take us. But Srila Prabhupada brings before our eyes the danger of this rebellious what if attitude. What if I don't what if, right? When he makes very wonderful statement, he says, Prabhupada says, the mind contains, please hear very carefully, the mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of the past. So these impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a conditioned soul. So at the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for the next life. Now, if the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, then one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. So, this is a really shocking revelation for us. We carry the same mind through millions of births. It is mind boggling to think that I had the same mind as a cockroach, crocodile, insect. I carry all the impressions which threaten to make their appearance at the time of death, when I will be having complete fast forward picture of all the events of my life. So when I read this, I realized how important is the conscious performance of devotional service. The impressions of which should be deeply formed in my mind now. A small uncongenial thought at the time of death, and again a big fall in the whirlpool of material existence. How dangerous is the situation, and how important is the mental culture of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada called this society not as one of Krishna related activities, but that of Krishna consciousness for this reason. Prabhupada makes an amazing statement in his introduction to Bhagavad Gita. He says, we must always engage our minds in reading the Vedic literatures. Just as materialists engage their minds in reading newspapers, magazines, so many materialistic literatures, we must transfer our reading to these literatures which are given to us by Vyasadeva. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. This is the only way suggested by the Lord. And he guarantees the result, there is no doubt. See, once we absorb our mind in studying the limitless stock of Vedic literature, Manasa, then naturally whatever we speak, Vacha, is backed by scriptural authority. And these words become the basis of our actions, Karmana, which will be, which will be following in the footsteps of the previous Acharyas. So absorption of our mind in the study of Shastras, it transforms and purifies the activities of the mind. Transforms and purifies the activities of the body. Transforms and purifies the activities of speech. Systematically study of the scriptures develops our conviction, faith, and determination in the performance of devotional service. See, when my Guru Maharaj, he asks us to bury our heads in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is for the mental culture of Krishna consciousness. And this is going to save us from the greatest danger of uncongenial mental impressions and the resultant fall down. See, while reading verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, sometime during in Vaman Deva Parents' Day, right? I came across a very valuable realization that we need to necessarily understand and implement in our life. See, when Lord Vamandev asked Bali Maharaj, 3 feet of land, right? Only 3 steps. And Bali Maharaj says that the Lord does not have sufficient intelligence to ask. The Lord answers, oh my dear king, Even the entirety of whatever there may be within three worlds to satisfy one's senses cannot satisfy a person whose senses are uncontrolled. So in the purport, Prabhupada gives a very nice punching statement. The purpose of life is not sense gratification, but self-realization. And Prabhupada continues by stating Lord Rishabhadeva's instruction in 554 Bhagavatam. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya apnoti न साधु मन्ये यत आत्मनो ayam asannapi kleshada asa deha. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and he engages in all kinds of simple activities. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, no, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. So, according to Rishabhadeva, the human beings in this material world are just like madmen engaged in activities which they should not perform, but which they do perform only for sense gratification. So, the Vedic culture or Brahminic culture teaches us how to be satisfied with possessing the minimum necessities of life. To teach this highest culture, Varnashrama Dharma is recommended. The aim of Varnashrama divisions, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, is to train one to control the senses and be content with the bare necessities. So here, see, Lord Mahamadeva, as an ideal brahmachari, he refuses Bali Maharaj's offer to give him anything he wanted. He says that without contentment, one could not be happy, even if he possessed the property of the entire world or the entire universe. So this point, strongly hammered in our mind, is to be understood because modern science has made our life very miserable. The purpose of this human life is for self-realization, not for sense gratification. If our senses are not controlled, and even if we get this entire universe to enjoy, we will not be satisfied. We have unlimited desires in our life to enjoy, like buying so many household items, which we think it would reduce our work, give us more time for practicing Krishna consciousness. But in reality, you find that only few of them are bare necessities and many of them are mere luxury. In the end, what happens? All these unwanted items, instead of being of some helps to us, it becomes a source of anxiety because maintaining them or disposing them is a big headache. So we have to cautiously analyze our needs, our wants, and try to live a simple life as recommended by Srila Prabhupada with the bare necessities of life. My Guru Maharaj used to say that this body is not designed for enjoyment, but this body is actually designed for suffering. The hand is part of the body, correct? Hand is a part of the body. But how many ways can the hand enjoy? Very few ways. But how many ways can the hand suffer? It can have unlimited types of suffering. Accidents, pains, diseases, fractures, blisters, more and more. But if you look at the soul, how many ways can the soul enjoy? Unlimited. How many ways that the soul suffer? The soul never suffers unless one identifies with the body. That's why Srila Prabhupada says that what we consider enjoyment, you know what is enjoyment? It is temporary relief from suffering. What we feel as enjoyment is nothing but temporary relief from suffering. Suffering is always there. It's only temporary, some relief. So at some point of time in Krishna consciousness, we have to make a decision. No more sense gratification. Only devotional service. And that is full surrender to Krishna. So let us take the decision of choosing the bare necessities of life alone. Be satisfied with it and take up Krishna consciousness. See, the importance of spiritual culture is very, very necessary. We have to understand these things. It's a culture of devotional service, he says in the purport, right? In Ishopanishad, Srila Prabhupada has wonderfully detailed on the qualities required to attain transcendent knowledge from Bhagavad Gita 13.8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. These 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 verses, Bhagavad Gita 13.8 to 12, gives qualities required to attain transcendental knowledge. Few of them, I will not list out 18, that's 3 or 4. It says, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti. See, amanitam. One should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. This is amanitam. Second is one should not pose himself as a religionist, right? Simply for name and fame. Adambitvam. And third is ahimsa. That is, one should not become a source of anxiety to others by the actions of his body, by the thoughts of his mind, or by his words. And the fourth one is one should learn forbearance even in the face of provocation from others. Kshanti. So there are four, there are 18 actually qualities, beautiful qualities. And list it down and try to put it into practice. So these 18 items combine to form a gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. See, except for these, all other methods are considered to be in the category of nescience, that is ignorance. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great acharya, maintained that all forms of material knowledge are merely external features of illusion energy, and that by culturing them, one becomes no better than an ass. So this same principle is found here in Ishopanishad. By advancement of material knowledge, modern man is simply being converted into an ass. See, in the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly people. So due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities, boys or girls all over the world are giving their elders headaches. Universities are, so to speak, centers of science only. So so the scientists know they're busy discovering lethal weapons to wipe out the existence of other countries. University students today are not given instructions in the regulative principles of brahmacharya, nor do they have any faith in scriptural injunctions. Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only, and not for the sake of practical action. Therefore, there is animosity not only in social and political fields, but in the field of religion also. So, to avoid these serious dangers in the present generation as well as in the future generations, students should be taught the spiritual culture as given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, which is beautifully explained by Acharya Lakshya Prabhupada. Otherwise, the future is very bleak for the upcoming society. See, when we are studying, reading whenever we Bhagavatam, right, in with our Guru Maharaj, he made a very powerful comment with regards to our reading of scriptures, which is worth meditating. He said, at present we are on a mental level, even while reading Bhagavatam. But we have to sing and realize the message with feeling to go beyond the mental level and stay on the transcendental level. See, when we stay on the transcendental level, nothing material touches us. He used to say, our voice is distorted when we are filled with material desires. Our voice is distorted when we are filled with material desires. Hence, the voice does not come with feeling. He gave his own example of how he was able to sing with transcendental vibration, even at that later age, 80 plus. He said that this was only due to his unflinching attachment to Bhagavatam and Krishna. But to get that sincere feeling, we should be satisfied with whatever situation we may be put in. At present, we are overflowing with so many useless desires. As soon as the intensity of material desire is there, the result is dissatisfaction. So we have to always be convinced that whatever situation Krishna puts us in is suitable for us to perform bhakti. Understand? We have to be always convinced that whatever situation Krishna puts us in, that situation is suitable for us to perform bhakti. If this full trust is there, then Krishna will never cheat us. We are always dissatisfied because we are not simple. Peacefulness is possible only in simplicity. See, when fresh air is there, why do we need AC? And because of AC, there is so much power cut in the country. So, what is the reason for all this cold storage, AC? They're all useless. We are unnecessarily overburdening ourselves with all these unwanted paraphernalias, which are extremely harmful and unhealthy. Vedic culture revolves around leading a simple and healthy life with Krishna in the center. Vedic culture revolves around leading a simple and healthy life with Krishna in the center. So we should somehow or the other arrange for our material requirements and be satisfied with how much ever we get as income and devote maximum time to meditate on the Shastras. The main impetus for this austerity is the constant remembrance that we are soon going to go from this body. My Guruvara says, purity and austerity are the cause of devotion. Purity and austerity are the cause of devotion. Austerity depends on purity. Getting up early in the morning is an austerity, but it keeps us healthy. A strong determination must be there to get up early and perform Mangalarti. Sleeping late and getting up late makes us lazy and sick. If you are watching TV till late night, you cannot get up early. That's why Krishna says in 12.14 Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna says, no, the characters of a devotee who is dear to him in 12.14, Santushta Satatam Yogi, Yatatma Drada Nishchaya, Mayar Pitamano Buddhir, Yomad Bhakta Same Priya. One who is always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. See, in the Bhagavatam 1.9.26, Prabhupada, in the second paragraph of the purport to this verse, explains about the Varnashrama principles which Bhishma Deva highlighted to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Bhishma Deva advised for all human beings 9 qualifications. Please hear. What are those qualifications all human beings should have? 1. Not to become angry. 2. Not to lie. 3. To equally distribute wealth. 4. To forgive. 5. To beget children only by one's legitimate wife. 6. To be pure in mind and hygienic in body. 7. Not to be inimical towards anyone. 8. To be simple. And 9. To support servants or subordinates. And Maharaj used to say, the first quality we all should have is unflinching devotional service. See, there may be 100 types of good qualities, but with sincere devotion to Krishna, rest will all follow. This is the easiest way. So as soon as we go to Krishna, all good qualities assemble in him. So the underlying principle is, if you are unflinching devotee of all good qualities, if you are unflinching devotee, right, then all the good qualities must be there. See, Krishna is one. Therefore, if you follow Krishna, the one, 9 will come. All those 9 things. So all these 9 good qualities are bound to manifest in the soul surrendered to Krishna. See, detachment means not throwing away your belongings, okay? But there should be no attachment. Detachment means not throwing away your belongings. Oh, I am detached. No. There should be no attachment. So by always keeping in mind that one day we all have to leave these things. Whenever there is attachment, death becomes more difficult. We have to train ourselves to detach. As though you're capable of working, right? Still at the age of 60, you have to retire from the government job. So whatever survival activities are there, they should be purifying us. If you obey Krishna, he sides with you. If you disobey Krishna, he leaves you. So always remember Krishna and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So those who accept this, their generations which are gone will be liberated up to 27 generations. This is the vast effect of chanting. See, enormous profit is there just by chanting. It will also purify 27 coming generations. See, even in demons, devotional service could purify so much, right? So what to talk of living entities? It is an immense profit. Just chant. The profit is inconceivable. See, no doubt, struggle of life is increasing. But even in this life, if you obey Krishna, the comfort will be there. This simple thing has to be passed on to our children. Otherwise, they will not survive. Unless there is the touch of Vedic culture, our generation will not improve. We have to adopt it with full heart. There is no other alternative to Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita. We have to come to this. There is no other way. To obey Krishna is for our benefit. Krishna has sent Srila Prabhupada especially to elevate all of us, to remove us from the clutches of Maya. Srila Prabhupada has given us so much in his purports that to understand only Srimad Bhagavatam, our entire life will be short. Just these 2 paragraphs gives us so much knowledge. So please, we should work and just concentrate on this and nothing else. So let us all beg to our acharyas, Prabhupada and Krishna, to shower their mercy on all of us so that we can chant the holy name of the Lord very sincerely and without any material desires. So this is the point to understand. So very good lessons we could learn from this verse. We'll stop here. Time is of the essence. Granatra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Shri Prabhupada ki janata ko Vancha kalpatarubecha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnava anantakoti vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions or any points to share, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So, important takeaway from the story of this
Punyatama.
Punyadama, Prabhuji, that we generally judge people by their appearance or whatever we see in front of our eyes. We do not understand what they actually are. So this is the biggest mistake we do. We should not judge anybody because we do not know what they actually are. So we have to see Paramatma in their heart, and we must be very respectful to everyone. Prabhuji. This
True.
is the takeaway.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we should decorate our ears with Krishna Katha.
Correct.
Thank you
Very
so much,
nice.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranams. Nice class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, okay, if you know anything else, we'll stop here. Thank you very much, Prabhu Mataji, for giving me this opportunity to glorify the Lord. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Purify
Dandavad
ourselves.
pranams. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you are still the host. You can. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, can we say like less of bangles, more of earrings?
Yeah, correct. True.
Hare Krishna.
So that others can see us and either get attracted or envious. Right? Both can be there.
Okay.
So neither of them is not good. Best is hearing Krishna Katha. That's the best thing, the best decoration for the ears. That's
Yes.
what we can learn from this wonderful verse.
Krishna Katha is the best. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.